Sitting at 8-2, well, at the time of this video, where can the Ravens actually improve? If Ravens make the playoffs, will Greg Roman actually change things up on offense? If Ravens offensive coordinator Greg Roman was to receive an offer as a head coach, who would take over his role? These and many, many more questions on this episode of NFL Questions from Subscribers.
You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Boy, he's a fan and he like the Ravens. And you know just what I mean. YouTube team, keep it clean. You see my
YouTube team, keep it clean. What's going on? It's Sing Raven here with another video and another episode of NFL Questions from Subscribers. This is a series where you can ask me any NFL question you want to based off of any NFL team, and we answer it in a video just like this. Now, if you want to be part of NFL Questions from Subscribers, just send me an email at teamkeepitclean@gmail.com. You send me an email. You send it any other way, the question won't be on Questions from Subscribers. Send me an email at teamkeepitclean@gmail.com, and we'll put your question in a video. We'll answer your question in a video, and then you can get other people's responses to your question in a video just like this. Let's do it. First question came from my boy Ace. He said, "What's up, Engraven? I was thinking if Greg Roman leaves, who would replace him? Chip Kelly is out of the question." Okay, I guess he shut that down quick. For anybody that was thinking Chip Kelly, I would say right now James Urban, but and this question has come up a lot recently. Just amongst Ravens fans because of the success that the team is having, especially on offense. And it could be applied to offense and defense, but here specifically speaking about offense, I would say my immediate answer was James Urban. James Urban. He's the QB coach, I believe, right now. But it then hit me, I think like 2 days ago. And I'm recording this, the day that I'm recording this, because I know y'all like me telling y'all, is November 21st, and it's 4:20 in the morning. Anyway, there you go right there, just in case nobody believe me. But anyway, I would say James Urban. That was my immediate answer. But with James Urban, I think if Greg Roman was to leave, I could see him taking James Urban and having him be his offensive coordinator. So the Ravens would, and he's been under him. Well, he's been with the Ravens for a little. Has he been with the Ravens the same amount of time as Greg Roman? I don't remember, but I could see Greg Roman taking him, be like, "Hey, I'm on this new staff. I want you to come join me." Because that's what a lot of these guys do when they get their promotions and whatnot. They end up taking guys who are currently under them and that they're familiar with, and bringing them along for the ride. So I could see that happening. So if that was the case, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. David Culley. He will be the guy. David Culley. They will give it to him. He's familiar with this offense. He's familiar with the receivers. He's familiar with the tight ends as well. It will be David Culley. Next question came from my boy Josh Hoffman. He said, "Engraven, happy victory over Texans week." I got another non-Ravens question, and this one is hard because this is Team Keep It Clean, and the topic is controversial. And this one is a little long, although by my standards, maybe not. I tried hard to trim it down to the essentials. All right, here we go. He said, "Colin Kaepernick. I think I see what he was trying to do with the workout, and I get that. What I don't know is what is he really after just now. Some people think he wants back in the league so he can have politics and controversy take center stage and worry about football second. Now, so long as they don't overstate their case, I understand players wanting to check the league on free speech, on money, whatever. Is that actually what Kaepernick is up to, and is he the one for the job?" I have no clue now, man. I don't know. I don't think we would really know what Kaepernick wants until he actually would get signed. So they would just have to see. I think it's just it's one of those things where, at least for me, I have no idea where this thing is gonna go. I have no clue what direction it's headed in. I don't know. But he said that remark by his girlfriend when the Ravens maybe wanted to sign him about NFL owners being like slave owners. I wonder what the millions of actual slaves still in the world and billions of people in this country and elsewhere in the world grinding away every day for the equivalent of $50 a day or $10 a week in some places would think when they hear celebrity millionaires and their girlfriends are just so principled they can't manage to keep quiet about the NFL's being somehow like slavery. Oof, that's powerful. NFL players have plenty of issues to bring up. I don't expect NFL players to be abused because they should count their blessings and just shut up. But slavery, no. They are free to use their college degree that they got on athletic scholarship, so they don't have crazy student debt like the rest of us who did college or grad school, and go find a nice career outside the NFL if they're worried about injury or any other reasons. That is a different way to think about things. I never really thought about it like that. That's me saying that, not part of his question. But anyway, so more importantly, there are many people still today who are very much dealing with the legacy of slavery in real ways that mean they don't get to have millions of dollars, Nike commercials, and their biggest problems in life are PR battles with the NFL. Does Kaepernick want to play football so he can play, earn a living, win, get to the Hall of Fame, etc.? That's what he says, and that's why a lot of folks take his side. I've been one of them. Or does he want to make more political points? Is he just dying to break that rule the league put in about no kneeling, stay in the locker room if you want to kneel, etc., so he can have the First Amendment lawsuit next? That's what I'm saying. We just don't know what's next for him. We don't know what he truly wants. I don't think anybody will know what he truly wants besides him, maybe his agent or whatnot. But I don't think anybody will really know unless he actually got signed. If he got signed, then I think we would then see, we may start to see what it is at that point. And I think it would almost be like if he got signed, it would be one of those things where people would just be waiting, like, oh, what's going to happen now? What's going to be that next step? But then I think more so it would be crazier if he got signed and then he ended up starting. And then I think then we might really see something then. Anyway, back to the point or the question. Okay, there we go. Is he that guy who wants to work just so he can find reasons to sue his employer? The NFL has one of the most powerful workers' unions in all the world, maybe ever in world history. They don't need his or our help. Mostly, players versus owners issues are about money. I wonder how other players feel about, not on social media, but really truly feel about the idea of Kaepernick coming back and maybe stirring up some controversy and hurting everyone's pockets in a big way. They may want him to go run for Congress if that's how it is. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this many-faceted and very deep issue. Thank you as always for handling these questions, but especially on this one. But yeah, it's hard to answer that because we just don't know. We don't know what is he just going to just looking to play and that's it, or is he looking to play and use the platform for something else? I don't think that's a question that we can even really answer until it actually happens to where we see him play again, to where we see him have that platform as an NFL quarterback again, to see how he uses it. Because wherever he gets signed, if he was to get signed somewhere, then all the media would follow, the interviews would follow, and he depending on where he went, actually anywhere he went, he would take a lot of attention off of whoever the starting quarterback is, whoever their star player is, because it'll be Kaepernick. And especially everything that's gone on for the past 3 years, he would bring a lot of attention. But he would get asked the questions from jump. The media would be all over wherever he got signed at from jump. They would be there every single day, and they wouldn't go away for a while. And then whenever his first preseason would be, they would be there whenever even if he got signed. Say for instance he got signed this week by somebody. He's obviously be a backup. He would get a post-game presser without even playing a snap. He would get a whole presser without even playing a snap. That's just how big his name is right now, in regards to if he were to get signed by somebody. He would take all that attention and command all that attention because of everything that's going on. But again, I think that's when we would truly be able to answer your question, because that's just something that right now we just really don't know. Next question came from Eva. Shout out to Eva. She's super supportive. She said, I remember the excitement when Jalen Ramsey said he wanted to be traded. I know everyone wanted DeCosta to sign him. Not everybody, but a lot of people did. I was one of them that definitely did. She said, I think there was some disappointment when Marcus Peters was signed. Do you think that maybe Marcus Peters was DeCosta's plan the entire time? Maybe he never wanted Jalen Ramsey and it wasn't a miss. From the stats, MP Juice Man, in my Mark Ingram voice, was the better deal. Anyways, just my thoughts. I hope you and the fam are doing well. Who that? Because she's a Saints fan. She's a Saints fan, but she's a Louisville fan too. She's a big supporter of Lamar Jackson. And she said, Jalen's stats since he joined the Rams: solo tackles 16, assisted tackles 3, tackles for loss none, interceptions none, touchdowns none, yards none. Marcus Peters since he joined the Ravens: solo tackles 16, assisted tackles 2, tackles for loss none, interceptions 2, touchdowns 2, yards 156. I don't think that Marcus Peters was Eric DeCosta's plan the whole time. I think once the Rams got Jalen Ramsey, then it was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're willing to let this guy go. So I think that it was at that point when Marcus Peters became the option, and for them to get a quality corner who they saw his struggle. I'm sure they saw his struggles. I'm sure they did their research, so they saw what he struggled with. But at the same time, they also saw what he was good at, and they were like, we can bring this guy over and actually use him the correct way, unlike the Rams were doing for enough of the time. Because I know a lot of Rams fans, they and not saying that he won't ever get beat, but a lot of Rams fans, when we first traded, oh man, he sucks anyway. He's burnt toast. I mean, ask Tim Williams. That's what he said. He was like, y'all traded my boy Kenny Young for burnt toast. But it has worked out really, really good. Like really, really good. And hopefully, I don't know if you'll see this video before or after the game, the Rams game coming up on Monday night. But it has definitely worked out very good for the Ravens, and hopefully he gets a chance to shine and show why the Ravens ended up coming out on the better end of this deal. Appreciate you, Eva. Next question came from my boy LV Super Gamer. Well, this was a little group of questions. He said, what QB do you think is better than Lamar out of all 31 teams? Better than Lamar? Right now, Mahomes, like right now, yeah, Mahomes. That's a very hard question, and I'm not saying that oh yeah, he's the best quarterback in the NFL and nobody can touch him, but I'm just thinking of all the things that he does. Because I think it all depends on what we're basing it on. If we're basing it on right here, right now, I say Mahomes. See, the thing is that it's weird. It's a weird comparison because with Lamar, like with a Mahomes, and I was thinking Aaron Rodgers too, but it's like with those guys, if you limit them in one area, they don't really have a backup that they can go to give them help. Like if you limit their passing game, it ain't like they can just use their legs and make all these plays and whatnot. In Lamar, it's like if you limit one, then he can hit you with the other, and if you limit the other, then he can hit you with the other one, and it's special. The guys that I think some of the best QBs in the league, yeah, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Brady is falling off. He is falling off. The team, I mean, he's still doing enough to get it done, but he's falling off. And of course, he don't have the best help in the world. But usually with Brady, the thing that we would always say is that he can do more with less. But it's been rough. So yeah, I say Mahomes, Rodgers. I really like Watson, but is he better than Lamar? He holds on to the ball too long, but he be making some plays, man. Who else is up there as far as the QBs? I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I can't think of nobody. Oh, Russell Wilson. He's up there too. Russell Wilson. Can't forget about him. I can't think of anybody else right now. I really can't. His next question was, should DeCosta get GM of the year? If it was up to Ravens fans, then he certainly would get it already. And this season is not even done. And there's fans of other teams too that always, I wish our GM would do something like that. It happens every move that he makes. Not everyone, but a lot of them, especially the trades and some of the signings that he did early in the year. So right now he could. Let's see how the season finishes out though. He also said, do you think Eric DeCosta can become one of the best GMs in the NFL? Yes, most certainly, because he's had some great training from Ozzie Newsome, and he should have been, he was able to take some stuff that he liked that Ozzie Newsome did, and some stuff that he didn't like that Ozzie Newsome did, and take that and put his own little spin on it. And can Lamar be up there with Brady in the future? Yeah, if you just maintain a level of success and consistency. That's it. Just that level of success and consistency, and he sure got the chance to. Next question came from my boy John Moore. He said, when it comes to playoff time, do you think Greg Roman will tweak up the plays? Example, if the Ravens play the Texans or the Patriots in the playoffs, they know what's coming at them. Me, I will show them something they've never seen before or never seen it coming. I think he would, man. I think he would have something ready, because it seems like, again, and I'm so glad that they didn't bring it out again. At least not yet. I'm so glad, because, and that shows something right there. I'm so glad that they didn't bring out that Heisman package again, because they used that in the, I think it was the Bengals game. Was it the Bengals game? I think. Anyway, they used that, and it got the world talking. Everybody, the Heisman package. But first off, it showed that the Ravens, they got something. They got another bullet in the chamber, just in case they need to pull it out. They got another trick in the bag, just in case they need to pull it out. And it showed some creativity, but it showed something that wasn't too crazy as far as creativity. But it was a little crazy, but it was nice crazy. But I think they do. And I think they will actually have something. It seems like Roman actually does have a plan B. And that's something, especially in that playoff game from last year, that's something that wasn't shown until late in the game. He's just like, you know what, whatever. Throw out the playbook. Let Lamar do his thing. And he did it, and guess what? Ravens just somehow started coming back. Anyway, I do think they would definitely show something different come playoff time, because that would be like, hey, this is it, and you got to pull everything out. You have to pull everything out. That's not a time to be conservative, not a time to hold back, not a time to be timid. You got to pull everything out and just really go for it, because that's win or go home. That's win or go home. You ain't got time to look forward to next week. You guys to win, so you can look forward to next week. So it ain't no, in the playoffs, it ain't no, okay, let's regroup and let's focus and let's get better at no, you ain't got no time for that. Because if you don't get better at whatever it is you're struggling with in that game, then it's gonna be lights out. Next question came from my boy Abel. He said, aloha, Engraven, I got a quick question. Do you think that when the time comes, we should prioritize re-signing our 3 tight ends over a number 1 wide receiver? I also spent like 3 minutes trying to figure out something to call our 3 tight ends, but I couldn't come up with anything. They definitely need a group nickname, so let's see what Team Keep It Clean can come up with. All right, we will definitely see. So y'all feel free in the comment section to let us know a nickname for those 3 tight ends. I know Ravens called them the 3-headed monster one time. I think Marlon Humphrey called them something else. I forgot what the name was that he said. But anyway, well, they already re-signed Nick Boyle. But I do see what you're saying. with Hayden Hurst. With Mark Andrews, his contract is shorter than a Hayden Hurst. And I actually think right now, the way that things are going, I know it's only been a year and a half. Or actually, it's only been like a year. But, well, actually a year and a half, because Mark Andrews, he's been playing from the jump. Because Hayden Hurst got hurt last year. But over this last year and a half, Mark Andrews is trending up. And Hayden Hurst, not that he's trending down, but for where they were selected in the draft, Andrews is trending up, and Hayden is, I don't want to say trending down, but he's Mark Andrews it's looked like Mark Andrews has been the first round pick and not Hayden Hurst. But that's just how stuff ended up working out due to that injury. And injuries, they changed the game, man. They changed the game, and Hayden Hurst, he was looking really good. And not that he's looked bad, but he's been like sort of stuck in the middle. Because it's been Mark Andrews like the number one target among the tight ends on the Ravens. He is that guy making all the plays, making all the catches. Then there's Nick Boyle. Nick Boyle is a primary blocking tight end. He makes a lot of catches in the passing game too now, especially over the past couple of weeks. They done ramped it up a lot. And then Hayden Hurst, like, he'll make his catch here and there, but he's like the middleman. He's like almost like the middle child, and he's just, not that he's just there, but he just and he's made his little fair share of plays, but not like the other two. But it's still nice to have all three. But I do think but basically what I was saying, that when that time comes, I think Mark Andrews, he'll definitely get that money. And they have the 5th year option with Hayden Hurst, so they got some time. They'll have more time with Hayden Hurst than they will with Mark. Because his contract is long. I believe Mark Andrews would be like a 4-year deal, and Hayden Hurst would be a 5-year deal because of that 5th year option. So Mark Andrews could end up getting signed sooner. And that's gonna be something, man. Because do you sign 3 tight ends? Because they obviously already signed Nick Boyle, but he's on a 3-year deal. So we'll see what happens with that. But do you re-sign 3 tight ends, or do you just draft another one? I'm thinking that, especially with Eric DeCosta, I'm thinking that he would just end up drafting. I don't see him paying 3 tight ends, but at the same time, you never know. You never know where the NFL will be at. You never know where the Ravens will be at with their tight ends at that point. We just have to wait and see. But right now, I would think no. I would think they would only re-sign 2 and then build through the draft. Next questions came from my guy Jarvis. He said, watching Undisputed this morning, and Mike Vick mentioned something that caught my attention. What do you think this offense goes if we lose Greg Roman? Because we are known for losing staff every offseason. That's true. They sure are. The thing, it goes wherever David Culley goes. And that was a question that was mentioned earlier. I think they go where David Culley goes. I think they would transition, because I think if Greg Roman were to leave, I think he would end up taking James Urban and having James Urban be his offensive coordinator, as if he became a head coach. And I think David Culley would then assume responsibility as being the offensive coordinator, because with the Ravens, especially on offense, defense they do the same thing, but on offense, you know what? I can't even say that all the time, because actually they don't. Usually they do it on defense. They promote from within. But for offense, sometimes they do some outside hires. But in this case, I think that they will want somebody that was comfortable with Jackson already. Not to say that somebody can come in and be comfortable with him, but I think they will want to work with somebody, or have somebody on staff that knows Lamar, knows the offense, knows the receivers, the tight ends, is familiar with a little bit of everybody on offense, so they could make the transition smoother. And my guy Jarvis' next question, he said, Ravens flock Super Bowl winners. Watching some Deion Sanders highlights and forgot that he played with us. Yeah, he was number 37. He got that pick 6. I think it was against the Bills. Anyway, he said, could you imagine how dangerous our defense would have been if we had prime time in his prime? Ray Lewis, Sizzle, and Ed Reed in their primes. How many championships do you think we could have won? I think the same amount that they did win. Just 2. Because they did have some championship defenses. They had plenty of championship defenses, but the offense ain't do nothing. So I think they would have won the exact same amount of championships Super Bowls that they won, because the Ravens have been so far behind on the 8-ball with offense for so long that all those championship defenses that they had, they ended up getting wasted away. Next question came from my boy Isaiah. He said, "What's up, Ink Raven? Being a Ravens fan like myself, I'm sure you are beyond pleased with how our season is going so far." Yes, certainly. He said, "All respect to Flacco, but I have never seen a Ravens offense worth talking about like this one. We all know this is a tough league, and we can't take our foot off the pedal. I'm worried about Tucker slightly with the missed extra point 2 weeks ago and the missed field goal attempt this past week. But my main question is, where can we improve?" Ooh. Where can the Ravens improve? Getting the wide receivers involved more. Opening up their game even more with getting the wide receivers involved more. Besides Hollywood, even getting him involved a little bit more too. But I think that's where they could definitely improve. That's the biggest thing. And penalties. They don't get like a crazy amount of penalties, but they usually do. One of the penalties they usually always get is 12 men on the field. I think they didn't get that in the Texans game though. I don't believe they did, or did they? I don't know. That's one that they usually get, like every game or every other game. So that I think that's what they can improve with, getting the wide receivers involved and cutting down on stupid penalties. Because I don't even want to say just penalties, because that's really hard, but just stupid penalties. The penalties that are just unnecessary. The 12 men on the field penalty, I think that is definitely coaching right there. So that's where they can improve with that, because you as a coach, if you switching in and out personnel, you got to get these guys ready. You got to have them moving. You got to have that hustle in them, man. And tell them, hey, come off the field, you go and hurry. Like you really got to be on point with that. So that and like the defense been making plays, offense been making plays. Pass rush too. Pass rush. I know they had 7 sacks last week. I know that. But pass rush would be another one, because with a lot of those sacks, had it been another quarterback that actually got rid of the ball in a decent amount of time, a lot of those sacks probably wouldn't happen. But Deshaun Watson, he holds on to the ball for a really long time. So that means the coverage was good up top. So good job to Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Smith, Chuck Clark, Earl Thomas, all of them. But had the pass rush been a little better, then we would have got there a lot sooner. Because one of the sacks was 10 seconds. That's crazy. That's crazy that cornerbacks were covering for that long. But it's even crazy that our pass rush couldn't get there for that long. And Deshaun Watson is a mobile quarterback, so I understand that. And it's crazy that he actually held the ball for that long too. But that would be it. So where can the Ravens improve? I would say getting the wide receivers involved more, the stupid penalties, and the pass rush. Next question came from my boy Reggie. He said, "I hope the fam is good, and I love the live streams during and after the games." Appreciate that, man. Thank you. He said, "I have 2 questions for you. First, do you believe that Lamar Jackson and this team can maintain that fire and fight past this season if we win the Super Bowl, because Baltimore will no longer be the overlooked team?" I do, because Lamar's leadership, the way that he's been, he doesn't overlook any game, and it shows on this team that they don't take anybody lightly. They don't overlook any team. And it's been showing. It's been showing so that focus is, these dudes they ready, they hungry, and they want this bad. They want it bad. So yeah, I think they can maintain that fire, because I think they just speaking from Lamar, him as a leader, it seems like he just wants to be great. Seems like he wants to be great, and he is willing to do whatever it takes to win, and willing to put the team on his back. So I think they definitely can. And he said, as a second, do you believe Lamar would struggle if Greg Roman was to leave to be a head coach? See, all the team keep it clean on the same page. This episode of NFL Questions from subscribers, because that seems to be a question that's on everybody's mind. I think it would actually be fine, as long as they they could just continue to let him be him. That would be my biggest thing with whoever ended up being the offensive coordinator if Greg Roman decided to leave. Because he's going to get offers. He's going to get offers. Wink is going to get offers. But that would be my biggest concern with anybody that came in or anybody that was promoted. If they would try not to let Lamar be Lamar. If they were going to let Lamar be Lamar, let him do his thing. And I think it would, be David Culley. But as long as they let Lamar be Lamar, I think Ravens will be just fine.
Don't get mad, it's just what it